Good afternoon, students, and welcome to today's lecture, where we take a spotlight on ancient Greek culture. I'm your professor, Dr. Rob Steffen, and today we are going to look at warfare within larger Greek society. Now, warfare was a defining feature of ancient Greek civilization, shaping its politics, economy, and culture. Now, unlike modern nation-states, Greek city-states, known as a polis in the singular or poleis in the plural, were frequently engaged in conflict with one another, whether for territory, resources, or dominance. Military prowess was not only necessary for survival, but also deeply embedded in Greek identity. And it was seen in the kind of heroism of warriors, from the legendary Mycenaean kings to the hoplites of the classical period. Now, Mycenae is the perfect place to look at it, because it was one of the most formidable centers of power in the late Bronze Age. And so it's an ideal place to explore Greek warfare and its relation to Greek culture. As the legendary home of Agamemnon, Mycenae was the heart of Greek military culture, and its influence extended beyond the Bronze Age into later periods as well. Studying warfare through the lens of Mycenae allows us to trace the evolution of Greek military tactics, weapons, and strategies from the Mycenaean period to the wars much later, over 1,000 years later, of Alexander the Great. So the Mycenaeans from the 2nd millennium BC were among the earliest Greek-speaking peoples to establish a militarized society. Their cities included places like Mycenae, Tiryns, and Pylos, and they were all heavily fortified, featuring massive cyclopean walls that demonstrated their defensive capabilities. The Mycenaeans waged war using well-equipped chariots, using bronze weapons, and then wearing boar's tusk helmets as depicted in frescoes and in Linear B tablets. The most famous Mycenaean conflict is, of course, the legendary Trojan War, immortalized in Homer's Iliad. While its historical accuracy is debated, the war reflects the kind of martial ethos, right? The warlike ethos of Mycenaean society, where kings led warriors into battle for glory and dominance. Mycenaean warriors were highly organized, and their palatial centers controlled vast armies. However, by around 1100 BC, Mycenaean civilization was collapsing very quickly, likely due to a mix of internal strife, natural disasters, and external invasions. And that ushered in a new period called the Greek Dark Ages. Despite this collapse, Mycenaean military traditions influenced later Greek warfare, particularly in the Homeric ideals of things like heroism and honor. Now, by the Archaic period, starting around 800 BC, Greek warfare had evolved significantly. The introduction of the hoplite, a very heavily armored infantry soldier, transformed completely military tactics. Hoplites fought in a very tight formation called a phalanx, where soldiers protected by large shields and armed with very long spears marched in unison to overwhelm the enemy. This style of warfare emphasized discipline, unity, and the importance and equality of the citizen soldier. Now, during the classical period, starting just after 500 BC, hoplite warfare dominated Greek battlefields. The Persian Wars from 490 to 479 showcased Greek military prowess, with battles like Marathon, Thermopylae, and Salamis demonstrating the effectiveness of Greek tactics against larger Persian forces. So a place like Thermopylae, even though the Greeks and Spartans lose that battle, their ability to hold out with a couple hundred soldiers against tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of Persians is really quite impressive. The Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta further refined Greek military strategy, introducing naval warfare and siege tactics. Sparta, known for its elite warriors and militarized society, became the dominant land power, and Athens excelled in naval combat, particularly with its trireme fleet. Despite advancements, Greek warfare remained fragmented, with city-states often fighting among themselves. And this internal division ultimately made Greece vulnerable, and led to external conquest in the following centuries. The rise of Philip II of Macedon in the 4th century BC marked a revolutionary shift in Greek military tactics. Philip introduced the Macedonian phalanx. It was even deeper and even more flexible of the traditional hoplite formation. They used even longer spears and professionalized soldiers rather than these kind of citizen militias. Now, while you may not know Philip II, you probably have heard of his son, Alexander the Great, who took Greek warfare to unprecedented heights, leading campaigns that conquered the Persian Empire and extended Greek influence as far east as India. Alexander's military genius lay in his ability to adapt tactics, incorporating cavalry charges, siege warfare, and combined arms strategies. So at battles like Granicus, Issus, and Gaugamela, he demonstrated the effectiveness of Greek warfare on a global scale. Now, with Alexander's death in 323 BC, his generals divided the empire, and Hellenistic warfare became dominated by large-scale battles, including things like war elephants, professional standing armies, and advanced siege technology. Despite these changes, Greek military traditions, from Mycenaean chariots to hoplite phalanxes, left a real lasting impact on the ancient world, influencing Roman military structures centuries later, as well as Western military thought for the millennia to come. Ancient Greek warfare shaped not only ancient history, but also modern military and political ideals. The emphasis on strategy, discipline, and tactical innovation seen in Greek warfare influenced later military leaders, from Roman generals to contemporary military strategists. Concepts like phalanx formation and siege tactics and naval combat, they became foundational in the development of Western military doctrine. Moreover, Greek military ideals extended beyond the battlefield. The warrior ethos, as celebrated in the Homeric epic poetry and historical accounts, that continues to influence ideas of heroism, leadership, and sacrifice. And Mycenae, as both a historical and legendary military center, embodies this legacy, right? Linking the Bronze Age warriors of Agamemnon to the hoplites of Thermopylae and the conquests of Alexander the Great. By examining the evolution of Greek warfare, from the Mycenaean chariot battles to the phalanxes of the Hellenistic world, we really gain a deeper understanding of how conflict shaped Greek civilization and left an enduring impact on military history. And so as we move forward, we'll explore other defining features of ancient Greece, the role of philosophy and intellectual thought in shaping society and its legacy.